everyone, and welcome to the Committed Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Jody, and each week we're going to be diving in deep, covering all things that help you step up your game, master your mindset, and help you commit to creating the life you desire. So if you're ready for that, let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Committed Lifestyle Podcast. As always, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. It means the absolute world to me. So if I haven't said thank you and that I'm grateful for you yet, just know that I'm so grateful and thank you so much for coming back here with me every week to tune into another episode. So, as I like to do, I just like to dive right in. Why don't we just dive right into the goods? Today we're actually talking about goodies like candy. Okay, so what inspired this is the fact that it's Halloween coming up. So if you're listening to this after Halloween, well, I'm sure it'll still relate in one way or another, but this is what really sparked it for me. So when Halloween comes around, and also the start of the holidays, there's one thing that is like prevalent everywhere, and that's temptations, aka candy and treats. And I just really feel like saying no for most people is one of the hardest things to do. Think about it when you're like at work, or maybe if you've got a kid and they come home and they bring some candy, things like that, or you're at the grocery store and you see the bags of candy. It's really kind of hard to say, no, I don't want that, unless you just don't like candy whatsoever. But there's always going to be some kind of temptation to those treats that are just laying around, like talking to you, basically saying, eat me, just have one, right? I know I'm so guilty of that. Back in the day, I was a candy connoisseur, and not just a connoisseur. I think I was like Willy Wonka running the damn chocolate factory, because that's how much I loved candy. So I get it. I totally understand what it's like to have these temptations. And, saying no to those temptations, again, like I said, is like one of the hardest things for people to do. And why the hell is that? Like, why is this stupid little sugar-filled thing like wrecking our mental life? And yes, of course, the havoc that it wreaks on our body as well. But, not making this a health-related podcast episode today, but just really talking about like the mental issues that it causes. So whenever you have ever given in to a temptation, and let's just go back to candy, what has it done for you? Has it made your life better? Has it made you feel better about yourself? Has it built up your self-confidence? Has it made you become like a better, faster, stronger, more mentally stable, mentally prosperous, like confident human being? Probably not. And that's that's what just gets me, why this little thing just like runs our life. And this candy is literally just a reference to any temptation in our life. But right now is just a really good way to talk about it, because it's these little fun-sized treats that, I'll just have one. And then you have one and you're like, well, maybe I'll have another. Or, I'll just take one for later, for after dinner. And then next thing you know, days have gone by and your kids have like leftover candy, or there's still leftover candy out and about places that you go, or back at your house after the trick-or-treaters are long gone. I'll just have one. And I'll just have one adds up every single day. Well, that every single day add up, I guarantee in the interim of this, you're probably getting maybe a little bit of a stomach ache. You probably feel a little bit crappy about yourself, like, shit, why did I have that? I had one too many pieces of candy today. Like, okay, I'll be better tomorrow. Now I'm tired. Now I just feel like really like lethargic. I suck. Like, think about all the havoc that it wreaks mentally and physically. does that, is that worth it? Like, seriously, I always think about that. I'm like, is that worth it? Having these temptations ruin my self-confidence in the way that I believe that I can perform in things. And it's that little thing right there that starts to tear us down. Then we start to think, well, shit, if I can't even say no to a piece of candy, how am I even going to be able to do this big thing that I want to do? How am I going to be able to say, if I'm starting a business, for example, how am I going to be able to say no to happy hour with my friends if I can't even say no to a damn piece of candy? And you start to think, am I even capable of this? Like, wow, I just really suck at life. You might not go that extreme, but some people do, and some people might not know that they do. They're wondering why their self-confidence is low. It's because they haven't worked the muscle to say no to the temptations and stay focused on the end result of what it is that they want, and to build up that self-confidence muscle and to do the things that might not seem very fun at the moment, but long-term just like rock your world, build your self-confidence, build your bank account, build your happiness, get you all jumping, dancing around, saying, fuck the candy. I don't give a shit about the candy. I'll have the candy another day, or I'll find something way better than the damn candy. Like, I don't need it, because look at where all these other things that are way better have gotten me. Okay, so you might be thinking, oh my gosh, Jody, like, live a little, have some candy, have some ice cream, like, enjoy life. Okay, look, I get it. Trust me, I enjoy life and I enjoy rewards. However, I did hear this saying back in the day that really resonated with me. And it said, you're not a dog, so don't reward yourself with food. Because food is never going to be that good of a reward. Oh, I earned it. You'll just use it for an excuse all the time. Oh, I earned it. I can have the pie. I can have the cake. I earned it. I went to the gym today. Okay, look, let me dial it back a bit. If that's what makes you truly happy short-term and long-term, have the pie. Have the candy. Have the cake. I'm simply using this as a metaphor for temptations and how we can use those seemingly small, insignificant things like a fun-sized Snickers and let it sabotage us. And that's what I'm trying to eliminate here with all of us, is the self-sabotage. And I think that we do use food as a form of self-sabotage. And what it really does is it just breaks down our mental ability to believe in ourselves and believe that we are capable of sticking to something. And so that's why I'm really referencing to the idea of Halloween and candy and the temptations that it creates for most people. So I want to take this time, actually, wherever you find yourself listening to this, whether it's at Halloween or it's around Thanksgiving, Christmas, or it doesn't really matter what time of year it is, because there's always going to be a temptation around. There's always going to be a reason why someone or something will try to tempt you to do something that doesn't benefit you in the long run and really will just have you be in a place of regret. So whether it's food related or not, a temptation is a temptation, and it is there to test your mental muscles and your mental strength. So I want to give a challenge to you guys. If this is important to you, to be building your mental strength, to be able to say no to temptations, why don't we use food as an example and a challenge of how to do that? So again, if you're listening to this and it's Halloween time, then I encourage you to use the Halloween candy as your challenge. How many days in a row can you say no to any of the candy? No matter how small, just say no. And at the end of it, see how you feel. And if you give in, see how you feel. If it's Thanksgiving, maybe there's something there that is like, oh man, last time I had this, it was so good, but I felt miserable and I'm pretty sure I gained 10 pounds from it. Maybe this year, say no to that thing or put up a guideline for yourself. So if it is the pie, have half a piece and split it with someone. Like, have someone hold you accountable. So it's not just you doing it, but you have someone else helping you with these, with controlling these temptations and putting guidelines around it, so that when you finish that challenge that you put up for yourself, you actually feel good about yourself and you prove to yourself, oh shit, yeah, I can do this. That wasn't that bad. Now I am more confident in myself. If I can do this, I can do this other big thing. If I can do this, I can say no to the bigger temptation. I can say no to this other thing that has steered me in the direction that I don't want to go down and made me feel like I took 2 steps back. You can apply it to anything, but I'm just using this example of candy as something that you can use right now and implement today, because food is around us everywhere and it's something we can immediately put to a challenge. So that is what my little call to action is for you guys today. And if you're going to do it, let me know. Let me know what you're setting yourself up for, of what you're not gonna do. Are you going to go 7 days without touching any of the Halloween candy? Are you gonna go a day without giving in to a food temptation? Are you gonna go 2 days? What is it? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna say no to happy hour with your friends because this week just doesn't work for you and you really have a big goal that you want to get to? That is where we need to test our mental strength and build those muscles so that everything that we do want shows up in the end. And we don't just keep hoping and wishing and praying that we get there and going around in circles, hoping that one day something will change. The only way anything can ever change is when you decide to change. And when you decide to change, that means something in your mind has changed. That means you have to start doing things differently. You've decided enough is enough and that you have to make a move. And if you don't do it, nothing is going to change in your life. You're just going to keep hoping and wishing that things were different, that you had more money, that you had a better body, that you had better relationships, that you were happier, whatever it is that you wish you had. Well, you're going to keep wishing that you had it. And it's my goal for you to go and get that thing, to give you the roadmap to get it. Because if we don't change what's going on upstairs in our head, nothing on the inside or the outside of our life can change at all. Okay, last but not least, as you set yourself up for this challenge, so whether it's candy, happy hour, pie, whatever you want to go with it. Pick the challenge, pick the number of days, and then last but not least, pick your reward at the end of it. Try to keep your reward away from food. Maybe it's you reward yourself with going shopping for something. Maybe it's you reward yourself with going and doing something with your kids that you've promised them to do, but you just haven't been able to make the time to do it. Maybe it's you make time with your friends to go do something fun. Whatever that reward is, make it something that is short-term and long-term beneficial for you is what I 100% recommend. And again, try to keep it away from food. See how it makes you feel. If I'm wrong, try it the other way the next time. Do another challenge and then make food your reward and see how that makes you feel. Will that short-term satisfaction of food, does that really feel like a great long-term result? Or is having those memories with your friends, with your kids, or is having that, maybe it's a new pair of shoes, getting to wear those shoes and feeling like $1 million or feeling like really good in them, or just being happy when you see them. Does that feel better to you than that short-term thing that you just are going to forget about and won't make you feel that good in the end? So think about that when you're setting up these reward systems for you guys. And then, you know what? I know you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can hang up my Willy Wonka hat and just get on the bandwagon of, hell yeah, let's do what works for the future Jody and not the fat girl Jody, then you can do it too. Because trust me, you guys, I was like totally fat girl Jody coming out when I was younger. I don't miss those days though. No, not at all. All right. That is what I got for you guys today. And if you enjoy this podcast, please let me know. If you're going to do the challenge that you are setting up for yourself, please let me know. I want to hear. I want to know how you did. I want to know the outcome. And if you didn't make it through, do it again. Let me know. Let me help you hold you accountable. So at the end of it, you can come back to me and say, Jody, these were my results. I'm so happy. I finally freaking did it. It took me 19 times to do it, but I did it. That's what matters most, is that you did it. So, all right, you guys, that's what I got. Last thing, if you enjoyed this podcast, share with a friend, subscribe, and rate, review if you haven't done that. And make sure you're subscribed so that you always know when a new podcast is coming out. Because I promise you, I'm always going to be giving you the best tips that I can, and hopefully some good laughs along the way. And it means the world to me to have you guys a part of this. So if you enjoyed it, again, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you soon. Remember, you've got one life to live. You got to make it as good as you can. Until next time, you guys, much love to you.